Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. This is going to sound crazy, but it's not. This is actually real, that the Democrats have had a plan in place to not let Donald Trump become elected president again for a while. And I found out about this through Mike Benz. So first of all, they're going to use the 14th Amendment. So the 14th Amendment, here it is. It said, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elected president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who has previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or an officer of the United States or a member of any state or as an executive to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same. And so that's why it was so important for the FBI to instigate January 6th, and that's why Nancy Pelosi made sure there wasn't any National Guard or security there. So when the FBI instigated and those people and the cops at the Capitol shot flashbangs they were inciting them, and the rest of the cops took the gates away and the fences away, and they swung the doors wide open, allowing so that's what this was all about. And we have the video, we showed it on our show earlier, of Nancy Pelosi going, oh, they're trespassing on federal property. This is exactly what we wanted. That's because they were trying to make sure Donald Trump could never run for president again because they feared he would win. And that's what the establishment doesn't want, a guy who they can't control. And so they're going to use the 14th Amendment. What makes me think they're going to use the 14th Amendment? Well, here's Mike Benz talking about it on PBD's show.
Listen to Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin in Congress has said, let people vote for Trump if they want. We're not going to certify his election anyway. So he may be elected, but we're not going to let him be inaugurated.
When did he say that?
So here he is saying it. When did he say it? Here he is saying it, that they're going to use the 14th Amendment, and it doesn't matter if Trump wins the election, they're not going to certify it because they're going to invoke that clause from the 14th Amendment saying Trump incited an insurrection. Here he is saying it.
It's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center. So
if you listen to what he says,
up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because you went against the Constitution and inserted your pre-chosen candidate. That's why. That's why you're going to need bodyguards, and that's why there's going to be a civil war, because you motherfuckers are undermining the Constitution like you've done since 2016, when a guy who wasn't pre-selected by the war machine and the deep state won the goddamn election, and you didn't see it coming. That's why. He's a tool of those exact same establishment, war machine, Wall Street, establishment, deep state motherfuckers, and that's what he's planning on doing. I'm not making this up. Did they have this plan? When did they have this plan in place? Here's Mike Benz to tell you.
You'll see what it says there in yellow highlights with the red highlight. Again, this was in June 2020, being organized by military, intelligence, State Department, and high-level political operatives from both sides of the aisle. Again, both the former heads of the both major political parties, who were both anti-Trump. And one of the most consequential moves in their war game for how to make sure Biden was inaugurated, even if Trump was elected, was that Team Biden role-played by no less than John Podesta, who would then occupy this very senior slot in the Biden administration, White House.
So they did a role play on this, just like they did Project 201 when they role played COVID, and it worked out just like they role played it. They did another role play of how they would deal with Donald Trump winning re-election, and
One of the most consequential moves was that Team Biden on January 6th provoked a breakdown in the joint session of Congress by getting the House of Representatives to agree to award the presidency to Biden based on the alternative pro-Biden submissions sent by pro-Biden governors. This is what they're planning to do. They're going to make the argument that Donald Trump is disqualified under the 14th Amendment because of January 6th,
And then they're going to reinstall. So back then it was Joe Biden. This time it's going to be Kamala Harris. This is exactly what I've been telling people when they ask me, who do you think is going to win the election? And I, just like my friend Russell Doppler says, if Donald Trump is allowed to be inaugurated as president, I have to rethink everything I've thought about the deep state, because they're going to do shit like this, shit you didn't see coming. January 6th, nobody saw coming, that they would try to instigate something like that so they could do something like this. And believe me, they're thinking about other stuff as we live and breathe right now. They're thinking about other ways to do this, if not blatantly outright flipping votes, which is what every video I've seen shows. There's no video that shows they're flipping votes for Donald Trump. It's always the other way. Let me throw it to my panel. What do you have to say? I mean, Jamie Raskin says it right out in open. He blurts it right out. He's not trying to hide it. He's got Mike Benz has the document. What do you all have to say?
Well, it's like the late Norm Macdonald's great tweet about an insurrection so deadly that they stayed between the velvet ropes as they were walking through, right?
It's called the invite-em-in insurrection.
The invite-em insurrection. Dude, this has all been about pressure from above, pressure from below. They want martial law, so they're trying to just wind us up so badly. You hear them. Oh, we're gonna have civil war situation. That's what they want, so they can just throw out the Constitution, and whenever they seize power, they never give it back. I think Governor Newsom still has COVID power. When do we end that? That's what they want. They want to throw out the Constitution and install continuance of government.
Okay, so
Yeah, Jamie wants to talk about that we're going to have a civil war. God forbid that Democrats provide any kind of policy that's going to gain my vote.
Yeah, 100%.
you think he just wants a civil war because he wants one of those hats to cover his repulsive-looking hair? By the way,
Whoa.
Yeah. He looks like, I don't know if you watch Always Sunny, but he looks like when Frank Reynolds went to a mortician to do his makeup to not look like a kid diddler.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.